What's going on, DigiDestin? It's your boy TPG back at it again with another deck profile. Right before Nationals, I'm going to be covering the boogeyman of set 11, and that is BlackWarGreymon X. BlackWarGreymon X, everyone's talking about it like this. It's this insurmountable Digimon deck that just cannot be like beaten. And to be honest, like the deck's very strong, but it's also like very easily outable. If your deck has an out to BlackWarGreymon, it's a gatekeeper. That's what I'll say. It's a gatekeeper. If your deck can out this deck, it does nothing. This deck's just like vanilla basically. But if your deck doesn't have an out to the BWG X, then you probably just lose. So it's like a super safe pick, and I guarantee it's going to be what a lot of the players are playing at Nationals because of that safe pick. So if you want to play this deck, I'm giving you guys like a nice deck profile here to get you started with this deck and learn how to use it. Before we get started with the deck profile, I do want to shout out my Twitch chat. All my deck profiles and videos are mostly recorded live over on Twitch, twitch.tv/TruePenGaming. Link will be in the description down below. Also, while you're down there, check out the rest of the links to join my Discord community and check out my other channels if you want to see more. That being said, let's hop right into the deck profile. So to start off, we have 4 of the BT9 Koromon. This one is while it has Agumon or Greymon in its name, plus 1,000 during your turn. This is going to allow you to reach larger numbers on your turn, allowing you to swing over opposing Digimon because of your Metal Greymon inheritable. And then the one of egg I play is Koromon. I was on 4 for a while, but in the mirror, you kind of have to grind a lot. So having that 5th egg is pretty helpful. And having this Koromon just to draw your cards like pretty nice. For the rookies, we play 4 of the promo Agumon. This is going to give plus 2,000 when attacking during your turn if you have a Greymon or Agumon. 4 of the BT5 Agumon. You check top 3 out of Greymon. Greymon or my bad, you grab a Greymon and an Omnimon. And then 4 of Agumon X Antibody, again on play / when digivolving. It can digivolve for 0 on top of an Agumon, which is relevant because you have 8 Agumons. You get to reveal top 3, add a Greymon or Omnimon and an X Antibody to your hand. So these are the 12 rookies we play. If you want, you could probably play like 2 of the Black Agumon from BT8, I believe. It searches top 4 for a Greymon and a Dragonkin. For the level 4s, we're playing just a line of a bunch of Greymons. We're playing 3 of the BT8 Greymon that gives blockers and inheritable. 2 of the BT5 Greymon that gives plus 2,000 as an inheritable during your turn. Again, hitting those bigger numbers to swing over opposing Digimon when it's your turn. And then 1 of the Star Deck 1 Greymon, allowing for the extra security check to just have a little more pressure. And then to round it off, we do play 4 of the most busted card in the game right now, 4 Greymon X Antibody. It digivolves for 0 on top of a Greymon, and then also when you digivolve into a Metal Greymon, or is it? Yeah, when you digivolve to a Greymon, you get to reduce the evolution cost by 1 for each color that Digimon has. So going into any of your dual colored Metal Greymons is going to reduce it by 2. It also has an all turns inheritable where if this Digimon with Greymon or Omnimon, its name will be deleted or returned to hand by an effect. By placing X Antibody from the sources to the bottom of the deck, you get to prevent it from leaving. So essentially a better version of the it's sort of like the Greymon X inheritable we had before, except that one prevented from all options. This one only protects from bouncing to hand or deletion. And then so that's it for the 4s, just all the Greymons. Okay, this is really a Greymon tribal deck, guys. 4 Metal Greymon from BT8. This one's like one of the most busted cards in the game. Digivolve 1 and then pop a 3K or less. And then also the inheritable, excuse me, is if it's a Dragonkin, you get attack unsuspended. 3 Metal Greymon X. You don't really want too many of this card. 3 is nice because you pretty much always want to put it on top of this card. But what it does is it protects from digivolving and it can't have its DP reduced. So with this and then the Yuya Tamer you'll see, you have protection from almost everything. But then also if it digivolves on top of a Metal Gray or you have X Ante in the source, you also get to blow up a 6K or less. And then the very important part about this card is opponent's turn when a Digimon, once per turn when a Digimon becomes unsuspended, if this Digimon is Greymon or Omnimon, you get to trash the top card of your opponent's security stack, which that's really powerful because both of the top end we're playing actually have reboot, so you're always going to be getting that trash at the start of your opponent's turn, assuming you attacked. And then to round off the 5s, we do play 1 Altarius mode because it gives us that protection with the all turns effect that would protect from deletion or returning to hand or deck. Is this one only return to hand? Okay, it's also deck. So it gives us that protection by putting 2 of the same level back. So we're doubling up on our protection with the Greymon X Antibody. This is super important because in matchups against like blue, like Examon or something, like this card helps win you the game. Same with this card. So that's it for the 5s. This is the 8 we play. And then for the 6s, we play 3 Gaiomon. Now, Gaiomon's super important because it wins you the mirror match. If you guys played during BT5 format, Lord Nightmon format, if you played during Lord Nightmon format, one of the ways to win the mirror match is you played chicken. So whoever raised first always lost because they would build their stack in raising while both of you are playing this board control game while playing out on the field. And then whoever was pressured to raise their Lord Knight first and swung and did their thing, but if they could not kill you that turn with like Bushi Agumons or something, you'd follow by raising up your Lord Knightmon, clearing their board. They have nothing in raising, and then you just kill them on the crackback. Super similar with with Gaiomon. If your opponent raises first and they have either their Gaiomon, so usually in the mirror, like if you're forced to raise, you'd rather have BlackWar X, but to win the mirror, it's optimal to actually not raise until your opponent does, and then just Gaiomon, Digivolve, swing over it, and then on the crackback, you have the 2 checks. It's also going to reboot, trash the top card. Like, super, super strong. This card just auto-wins the mirror. And then 3 of the big boy, BlackWarGreymon X Antibody, new card, so it has this has reboot too, by the way, so it's going to proc your Metal Greymon X, but this has reboot, and then I got to read it to make sure I'm not doing it wrong. So when your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP attacks, you may switch the target to this card. So it redirects the attack to itself. It's like a block without actually suspending the Digimon, which means you get an additional block because you get the redirect, and then you also get the block off of the inheritable of the level 4 BlackGreymon. You also have the effect when a Digimon becomes unsuspended, if this Digimon has BlackWarGreymon or X Antibody and its sources, you get to delete your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. And that also counts itself. So you swing, reboot, delete something, and then you're going to trash the top card. Super powerful, super oppressive. Like I said, in the mirror match, you don't actually want to use this that much because if you use this, your opponent's just going to go into Gaiomon and then start to win the game and snowball from there. That's it. We only play 6 level 6s. I don't like BlackWarGreymon because BlackWarGreymon to me just feels like an extra step. I'd honestly rather go into one of these 2 for 1 more memory. And then because they Digivolve for, I believe they both Digivolve for 2. Yeah, they both Digivolve for 2 for BlackWarGreymon, so you're paying 6 to essentially go into them. It's not really worth it. BlackWarGreymon gives you the pop, but like you have the Hades Force now. Anyways, our last Digimon is Omnimon X Antibody. This is the BT5 one. This is for the Grandest matchup. Grandest is the hardest matchup for this deck, so having Omnimon X just helps win that matchup because you can go to Omnimon X and then like negate their Grandest attack and they can't really do anything. I will say the other Omnimon X feels a lot better in most matchups. But if you were to play the other Omni X, I'd probably play 2 of it instead of just the 1 here. Because this is just for Grandest. I'm never going to use this outside of Grandest except for like super niche scenarios. So yeah, this is really just for the Grandest matchup. If you wanted to play the other Omni X, I can show you what we would cut when we get to the options. For that, because you'd probably want 2 of that one because it's just like a better finisher. 2 Yuya Kuga. This is the new Tamer. So it's a memory setter, but then also when it digivolves into a Greymon by suspending it, gets 2k until the end of your opponent's turn. Relevant because it helps you reach like better blocker numbers and redirection numbers. And then also, if it digivolved into a Digimon with the same level, it's unaffected by option cards. Yeah, and by your opponent's option cards until the end of their turn, which is very strong. Or Cool Boy. Absolutely busted Tamer. If you have X Antibodies in your deck, you should be playing Cool Boy. This card gives you so much value for actually no reason. Like, it's broken. If you don't know, on play, you get a search top 3, add an X Antibody Digimon and an X Antibody option to your hand. And then when your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon with the same level with X Antibody and its traits, you get to suspend it to gain 1 memory, draw 1. Super, super value card. Really strong. So this is our option lineup. Red Memory Boost is the first thing I'd cut. So if you wanted to add, if you wanted to swap this, if you wanted to go for like full aggression and just like give up the grandest matchup because you know you're not going to win it, just swap this Omni X out for the other Omni X, and then swap this out for one more of that Omni X. But because I'm not doing that, I play 2 red mem boost. But if I were to change anything, this would be the first card I cut. 2 Hades Force. Hades Force, super strong card. If you have a Greymon, you get a if you have a Digimon with X antibody and its sources, reduce the cost by 2. And then you get to choose any number of your opponent's Digimon and or Tamers who have a combined play cost of less than or equal to the play cost of one of your Digimon with Greymon's name. Delete all chosen cards. Then one of your Digimon with Greymon in his name may attack a player. Super busted card. There's like so many lines of text on this card that like just shouldn't exist, and it's crazy. I also debated playing 3 of this card, but 3 seems a little bricky. So if you want to play 3, again, just cut the red mem boost, but I like 2. And then for our last card, we play 3x antibody option. I was testing with 2, but 3. This card is so crucial in this deck more so than almost any other X antibody deck. I feel like maybe with the exception of WereGrew. Probably about the same as WereGrew, actually. You want to see this card all the time. Because we're Digivolving so much, we don't really need to play more than 3. We're also searching this card a lot. The reason I'm not playing 1 or 2 is because we need to be seeing this multiple times. Especially if we're like putting it back with our Greymon effect or like just like stuff like that. So it's really important to be seeing this card as much as you can. And that is the options, guys. And that actually rounds out the deck profile as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my videos, please subscribe. If you liked this video, leave a comment, like, share with your friends. Let me know what deck you are excited to play for Nationals. And if you're not going to Nationals, let me know which deck you would play if you were going to Nationals. That being said, I will see you all next time. Bye.